Dominica's economy records growth with even more projected this year. And in sport, a member of Jamaica's Reggae Boys calls for better training facilities for the island's footballers. I'm Nicole Best, and this is the Caribbean in 10 for Friday, July 28. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Join the Caribbean Broadcasting Union and its regional and international partners at the CBU Annual General Assembly, August 21st through 24th at the British Colonial Hilton Hotel in Nassau, the Bahamas, under the theme Digital Developments in Caribbean Media. Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, Dr. the Honorable Hubert Alexander Minnis, will welcome delegates during the opening ceremony. Guyana's Minister of Public Telecommunications, the Honorable Kathy Hughes, will offer a keynote address on digital developments in the region. See the launch of the UNESCO-sponsored Manual of Social Media Guidelines for Caribbean Journalists, with guest speaker Jamaica's Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn. And hear from international media players about the new developments in digital television standards in Europe, the US, and Japan. And this year's Caribbean Broadcasting Awards Gala at the Atlantis Resort Paradise Island is not to be missed. Call 246-430-1007 to book your space in the 3-day conference and exhibition. Don't miss the CBU 48th Assembly at the British Colonial Hilton Hotel in Nassau from August 21st through 24th. Discounts on flights to the assembly on the official airline, Caribbean Airlines.
Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says the country recorded 2.8% economic growth in 2016 and is on the path towards prosperity. On Thursday, he delivered a $918 million budget to the Parliament. And he said the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the ECCB, is expecting the country's economy to grow by 3.1% this year, adding that Dominica's growth experience is better than the rest of the Caribbean.
This is Dominica's moment, and we as a country must seize it. We could cash in the growth dividend of successful economic management with a broad expansion of existing spending programs. That would be far more easier, Madam Speaker. But this government is not in the business of sitting back and basking in its success. What we propose is a bold journey that begins this morning, Madam Speaker.
The Prime Minister told Parliament that total expenditure is projected at $930 million EC dollars. This includes recurrent revenue of $786 million and recurrent expenditure, inclusive of debt service, at $580 million. The lion's share of the budget will go toward the Ministry of Finance, $241.9 million. Other ministries receiving significant allocations include the Ministry of Education and Human Resource Development, the Ministry of Health and Environment, and the Ministry of Justice and National Security. The Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB, says it will provide the initial capitalization for a multi-donor fund to improve competitiveness of the cultural and creative industry sector in its borrowing member countries. The regional lending agency says it is making an initial contribution of $2.6 million to the establishment of the Cultural and Creative Industries Innovation Fund as a pilot intervention, and it will also administer the fund. The CIIF will support the development of the creative industries sector and encourage innovation, job creation and improvement, enterprise sustainability by providing grants and technical assistance to governments, business support organizations and academia that support the creative industries sector. It would also provide funding to the creative and cultural entrepreneurs and micro, small and medium-sized enterprises in its member states. In Trinidad and Tobago, former High Court Judge Marcia Eyre Caesar is fighting for reinstatement. We get more in this C News report.
Marcia Eyre Caesar says her removal as a High Court judge is unlawful and unconstitutional, as she was put under pressure to resign. On Thursday, her lawyer Ramesh Lawrence Miraj presented her case at the San Fernando Supreme Court. He explained what is at stake.
The case involves a very important principle, and that is why it can be regarded as a landmark decision or a landmark case. The case involves the issues concerning the independence of the judiciary and the security of tenure of judges.
He said removing a judge from office is not as simple as has been made out.
In the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago, the independence of the judiciary is guaranteed. And you would have heard that I read from section 137 of the Constitution. So when a person is a judge, and this person was sworn in as a judge, she started to function as a judge, she got an instrument as a judge. So when a person is a judge, you cannot remove that person from office unless you follow a certain procedure. And it involves that issue, and it involves an issue whether you can put pressure upon a judge to resign. And if the judge signs a resignation, is that a resignation in effect for you to be removed from office?
Mr. Miraj stated that his case turns on the idea of constructive dismissal.
Do stay with us. Your midday sport is next.
The Jonkonu's fife, the rhythm of the drum, the strum of the pan, the lilt of the voice from island to mainland, all pigments and tones, old and young, his and hers, all we are one. You, we, me. This is UE TV.
One of the stars of Jamaica's run to the 2017 CONCACAF Gold Cup final has called on the Jamaica Football Federation, the JFF, to help provide better training facilities and arrange more international games. Defender Kimara Lawrence says the JFF should do more in order to keep the group together. He says the more games the men play together, the better their game plan and the more they can learn each other's movements. Lawrence says the Reggae Boys should not wait another 3 months to play one game. He said the powers that be need to get better training facilities and put the team in a position to succeed. Jamaica's unbeaten run at the 2017 CONCACAF Gold Cup tournament ended on Wednesday night with a 2-1 loss to host the United States in the final at the Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Reigning champions Trinidad and Tobago made a resounding start to their title defense when they swept Guadeloupe in straight sets in their opening game of the Senior Women's Caribbean Volleyball Championships in Jamaica on Wednesday night. Playing at the National Indoor Sports Center, they raced to a 25-8, 25-17 and 25-14 victory to send a stern warning to their opponents in the 8-team tournament, which also serves as a World Championship qualifier. Shannon Thompson led the scoring for TNT with 13 points, while the experienced Crystal Estelle supported with 12 and Snyder Jack 10.
TNT powered past Guadeloupe in 3 straight for the Bagel, and the ideal start to their title defense. The champs ran away with the first set 25-8 to sound a serious warning. They would take the second a less convincingly 25-17 as the French women fought back. But in the third, TNT again turned up the heat to secure that set 25-14 for the 3-0 win.
And that's the Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Have yourselves a good afternoon.